Reform movements were an important touchstone in the 19th century. Movements such as abolitionism, women's rights, or temperance were all heavily important during the time. One might not recognize would be the Utopian Movement. You're probably wondering,
Utopian Movement? What is that?
well, let me tell you about it. The idea of utopia was originally a Greek word for an imaginary place where everything and everyone was perfect. So the Utopian movement itself revolved around creating model communities within America, existing outside of the nature of the capitalist economy.
There were many examples of utopian societies before the 1800s in America. For example, there were the Quakers in Pennsylvania in 1681, or better yet, the Puritans who prided themselves in attempting to become a city upon a hill. Communities such as those focused on a heavily religious principles guiding all aspects of life. This was one of the important basic goals of the Utopian movement, to keep people equal under one's social background. Religion was one of the common reasons for forming a utopian society, along with social perfectibility.
In the 1800s, the Shaker community was one of the earliest formed utopian communities, along with being one of the longest lasting. It was founded by an Englishwoman, Mother Ann Lee. Despite the founder herself dying early on, the community continued to flourish on the strength of its passionate and joyful religious life. By the 1840s, the Shakers had a membership of some 6,000 and continued to exist for another 100 years. The Shakers admired simplicity and shared the art of design, building, and furniture of a distinctive, harmonious beauty that reflected their outlook.
Mostly the significance of religion-based utopian societies is that they tended to remain harmonious without disturbing their neighbors, but at the same time continued contributing a unique style to them. If religion-based communities were not the type you seek, then there were others based more on social equality rather than religion. One known example was the Utopian community, which was based on perfectionist ideals and embraced unorthodox sexual practices. It supported free love, birth control, and eugenic selection of parenting. This community allowed freedom in ways that traditionally weren't unacceptable within their century. It didn't last very long before turning into a capitalist corporation, but the ideals of it did not leave.
These were only some examples expressed, but overall every one of these communities were uniquely individual and reflected idealistic, reform-minded spirit of the age. Also, they remained significant monuments to human courage to live differently on the basis of principle and religious conviction in their time, which is why the utopian movements were very important reforms.